The Staincast.
What is the Staincast?
Stain?
Stain.
Who is Stain?
Am I dreaming?
Yes.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the MCU Staincast, episode number 90. For any of you who started with us, you'll definitely remember these bad boys because we used to be cranking these out every week back in 2021, 2022 when all the new Marvel stuff was coming out. But it's been a while. Our last one was Quantumania, which we're not going to speak anymore on. And we already have, because we have already spoken our piece and some with that movie. If you want to hear what we thought about that movie, go watch it. I guess. Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Please, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Go right ahead. But this week, of course, we have something a little bit better. We have the Guardians, as you can tell by the title. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Yeah, we'll get into that in just a little bit. But we just got a quick little prompt we wanted to ask our guest. We're originally going to have the CMO Ho, but neither here nor there. He's throwing.
You got the kid instead.
Exactly. Of course, I didn't even say. I mean, he's on it so much. He's basically the friggin' fourth host. Of course, say hi to the kid, everybody. He's back again, and he's going to be back for a while too.
Yeah, we got him for the next 2 months straight. So
got some heat coming up and some mid I need to talk about.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. You know that if he pulls up, we're talking about heat, and of course this week we are talking
or it's just so mid that we need a third opinion on it.
Yeah, ADL just can't go around in circles talking about the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
need some more hating.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if two people hating isn't enough, third, that's the magic number right there.
It'll get the job done.
But before we get into that topic, I do want to say two things that I don't think we ever mentioned. First off, if you're confused how this is episode 90 of the MCU Staincast when the last episode was 45, it's because we redid our numbering. We just figured starting with season 3, all of our episodes would just be one combined number because, I mean, as you can tell by it being episode 90, we got a pretty big milestone coming up pretty soon. So we wanted it to make a little more sense and we can
absolutely
explain it to you guys there. Also, I do want to preface, if you hear any banging or knocking coming from my end, I apologize. They're doing construction in my apartment complex, and I'm trying my best to make sure I mute my mic whenever.
Mm-hmm. Someone's just having a good time in the next room over. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean,
me too.
Who knows? Will's probably having
getting busy.
Yeah, getting ziggy. But yes, I thank you for bringing that up because I didn't even think about that. We just started season 3. Oh yeah, and we went from episode 42 to 90, and I'm sure people are
very confused. So yes,
so for anyone who didn't notice, there you go.
Yeah, the MCU Staincast numbers and the regular Staincast numbers just got combined, and it's all just the Staincast. It's all one thing. Yeah. That's why also, of course, it's a shame that CMO Ho can't come on here so he can talk about it, but that's also why we have the new thumbnail banners and everything like that, the new logos that he's been cooking up, because we're very, very thankful for him for it.
Yeah, shout out to the Ho for cooking that stuff up. That shit fire. Yeah.
Good luck.
But real quick, I just thought we just ask a general question for all of us, just because we're coming towards. We're almost 3/4 done with the year, pretty much.
Yeah, we're coming up on Q4 right now, so this makes sense.
So the question I had for you guys was, what are you most looking forward to for the end of the year? Anything could be video games, TV shows, movies. What are you looking forward to? We'll start with Xander, the kid. What are you looking forward to?
I'm gonna have to. I already know we were chatting about it before. I'm gonna say Invincible season 2. That's one of them. Need those boys back in the fucking seat cooking.
Yeah,
last
especially
season
after
was something crazy.
Especially after we got that
Adam Eve.
Preview.
That was hard. Yeah,
if the animation is already looking like how good that is, we're in for a nice treat with this season.
Need every episode looking like that. But Invincible is just one of my favorite comics of all time because after that first season, I went out and bought the whole.
Yeah, you bought the whole thing.
Needed the whole thing off them. Not even the side comics. Some of the side comics I have the Wolfman and the fucking other shit. I needed all that off.
They just started releasing the World of Invincible compendiums. So all of the side stories are collected. There's one of them out right now. They're doing another one soon. I think it's called Invincible.
I might just cop that.
It's cheaper than the regular ones, and it comes with most of the side stories, the one on the what is the Battle Beast?
Yeah, Battle Beast.
Battle Beast He's
got Battle Beast, got the Adam Eve one. I think it has
he be dumping.
what Rex Riot, Rex Rocket. Is that his name? I
You-
forget. It's been a while since I've watched
Rexplosion or something. I don't know.
Rexplosion. That's the one.
Something.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rexplosion. Yeah.
It's been a minute since I've watched season 1 because it came out like 3 years ago. So, but
Jesus.
coming with season 2 coming up, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything either, but
It's about to be. It's gonna be ridiculous.
it's about to be good.
All I
And
gotta say
we
is
are
Conquest. That's all I gotta say is Conquest.
we are covering Invincible season 1, you know, when Invincible season 2 comes out. So join us in rewatching that season, getting prepared and getting hyped, because that'll be a great episode. Lots to talk about in that. But Invincible season 2, that's great.
Need that off them.
Anything else? Like obviously, I'm sure there's a longer list, but just like a quick like what comes to your head immediately. Like, all right, well, if you could fast forward to like one of the months towards the end of the year, like, what are you looking for?
I'm gonna have to say Captain Marvel too. I'm gonna have to put that.
No, I was gonna agree with you. Yeah, I was gonna agree with
classic
you
in the making. You got the three Marvels. Shit's about to be goated.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say about
honestly,
that
it's the holy trinity of movies. Like they don't make movies like they used to, but I think this movie might be the exception. Like I think this. I'm like me personally. I was projecting like a $300 million weekend, probably.
I'm thinking more
opening weekend,
more to 500 mil, like Infinity War, 500 mil probably.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
not even internationally.
With Disney's track record,
I can't even.
It ain't looking good for them this year.
No, but if I'm being serious, yeah, it ain't looking good. But Spider-Man 2 for PS5.
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2
that's my
PS5.
most hype.
That's what I'm really looking for. That's like the most hype for this year. If I'm being serious, though.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Spider-Man 2, that is going to be Game of the Year, and without a doubt.
There's no debate. I know Resident Evil 4 remake came out, Final Fantasy, Dead Space, like a whole bunch of shit came out, but it's not even in question. And I love those games. I played all of it. It's not even in question.
Like Insomniac, there's something else with these games, and it looks so fire. And the fact that it comes out in like less than 2 months, it gets me so fucking hyped, man.
That trailer, I rewatch that trailer occasionally. The story trailer they posted last.
Oh, with Kraven and Lizard.
Oh. Yeah, and we're gonna change the world. I want to heal the world. Yeah, that shit is so tough.
I'm very excited to see what they do with this very unique story and to use villains.
The new Venom too.
Yeah, new Venom and using villains that we rarely get to see. Like
fucking
we've never seen Kraven in a major fucking thing, only in the cartoons.
Mad disrespectful. He's one of my favorite comic like Spider-Man.
I mean,
like Kraven's Last Hunt is
it's about to change. It's about to change in about a year when we get
the Kraven movie. Yeah,
I forgot about that. God damn it.
Aaron Taylor Johnson Kraven.
That was supposed to come out this year, but it got pushed back yet again.
Oh, did it? It was supposed to come in November this year.
October.
Right?
And now it's August.
Like August, next year.
Oh my god.
That was Morbius.
It's literally Morbius. Like, it's literally Morbius too. Like I can't believe it.
Because they have to reshoot a whole bunch of it, and then the strike happened, so they can't. So that's no problem. Like, how are you guys? I don't know.
I just couldn't imagine being like literally fresh off the heels of that disaster that was Morbius, and then just repeating the exact same mistakes again. Like, look, maybe like 10 years from now, I'll give it to them where it's like, all right, they kind of like it's out of their immediate like perception. It's like, oh yeah, Morbius was a long time ago. We dropped the movie like 2 years too late, and then dropped it again for some reason, and nobody watched it because nobody watched it the first time.
They were just memeing on it. Fucking
yeah. The suits don't get that though. They don't get
they have no fucking temperature. They have no ability to read a room when it comes to like when someone's making fun of the movie. Like they just can't tell when someone's laughing at it or with it. Like they just can't tell at all. I mean, fucking Barbie's getting a re-release for some reason. Like that, it's just.
That was Mario.
That needs to be either excluded from the box office, or like I'm not saying it's illegal because it's fucking it's America. Like you can release whatever the
people want to see it, they can see it.
Yeah, 100%. You want to watch it. But it just seems so slimy to me. It has a proper theatrical run. Someone's busy the entire summer to watch that. Like,
bro, they like, re-released Avatar like 10
No. That's what I'm saying, and that's not excluded from my list. And I'm saying it's bullshit too. That's all bullshit. It doesn't make any sense to me.
How many times have they fucking re-released the Titanic in theaters? And that shit came out in the 80s.
I'll
90s.
give them that because that didn't have the common like where like movies is so. I mean, I don't want to say it's bigger, but like it just has such a huge.
No, it's bigger.
There was no streaming back then. You know that's why they could do that. There was no streaming. You have to go to the fucking best. What's that?
Blockbuster.
I forgot the fucking blockbuster. You had to fucking
Blockbuster.
get it. Like that's why I get the re-releases back then, early 2000s. But now it's so slimy. Like really,
But in 45 days, it already goes to streaming anyways. Like
Yeah, it's
HBO
so
has that whole
slimy.
fucking deal where after 45 days, it goes to streaming, and then we're getting a re-release for what reason? Like,
Because
and the worst part is they're about to make Brett bank with that too. That's why I'm pissed because people are probably going to rewatch that movie.
Yeah.
Re-release
But
the
I do
Flash?
like it. I do like it when like we saw Star Wars episode 6 in theaters.
No, that's
I
the
do
only
like the re-releases.
because
The old,
literally besides that, I'm never going to see that movie in a theater ever. It's just like it's that simple.
Yeah, I do like the older re-releases. I get it, but the
I agree,
fucking
but the movie came out 2 months ago. Yeah, like Jesus Christ, man. It's
that's
not even 3 months out. We're getting a re-release. Like whatever.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
But Dio, what are you excited for this year?
So obviously the Marvels. Probably definitely Dune. Dune is actually seriously Dune.
That is that's it,
obviously like I'm knocking on the Dune if it gets released this year. We'll knock up on that wood.
I think it is. They finished it. Really.
I hope so too. But I mean, it's the only person who knows is that motherfucker is Warner Bros. And Denis, the fucking director.
The director probably doesn't even know.
Yeah, he probably doesn't. They're just gonna tell him one day. They're just gonna be like, "Yeah, no, this movie ain't coming out this year." But regardless, side rant aside, yeah, probably Dune. TV shows, probably Invincible. What else is coming on TV shows?
I completely forgot. Ahsoka came out this week.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I watched the first one. I didn't watch the second one.
No.
Fuck
no.
It's pretty good so far. Like the first two episodes.
I like the first episode. Yeah, the first episode ain't bad. It's setting up a lot of shit.
It's setting up and episode two like continues to develop on it and really like it's looking pretty good so far.
I gotta watch episode 2, but I wasn't mad at the first episode.
I just need them to.
We got a couple fights too.
Yeah, we got a lot of fights in episode 2 as well.
Yeah, we got actually. I like that when they actually put in fights in the first episode. They ain't fucking like them chatting the whole episode. I hate that.
I trust Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is that guy.
He did Book of Boba though, didn't he?
He wasn't the main guy for Book of Boba. That was it more Jon Favreau.
This is me. This is me when Lucasfilms. That's me.
That's you when
that's me when fellas talking about Lucasfilms like they don't have the most blemished and stained resume.
No, they do. I'm
ever.
not saying they don't.
Ever. Not top 5.
But I do
ever.
like Ahsoka. If this was any other character, I wouldn't be watching this show, deal. You know me. I'm on that same boat, but this is Ahsoka. I gotta give it a chance.
I'm not saying.
I don't want to see another.
I hate what Disney's done to that company.
I got no love.
The Star Wars franchise. However, I will say Dave Filoni is that guy, and Ahsoka is his baby. He created that character and has done. He has not given any form of creativity to that character to anybody. He's worked on her in Tales of the Jedi, Clone Wars, Rebels, Ahsoka, Mando, Book of Boba, which was the best part of Book of Boba.
Goodbye.
And
she was in. She was in Book of Boba. She was in Book of Boba. With Luke.
It's always got to be me.
And he trusts it the most. Like I trust him the most. I should say. That's why I want him to take over Lucasfilms.
Well,
I know DL did not hear.
God damn it!
That.
Why is this shit cutting out? What the fuck? Is it still cutting out?
Soft.
Nah, it was.
You hold up. I just turned on low data mode. It's still gonna record the video, but
yeah.
How's this? Are
Damn,
we good now?
Shame. You guys can't see. You guys can't see my reaction
on camera anymore.
No, that's good. That's the point. That's something.
That's tough. I'm on my 5G, so there ain't no way.
This is E enabled low data mode.
E. I don't think it's probably not me, but whatever. Maybe we'll turn it on. Yeah, we should.
No, I can't see you guys though.
No, I turned that off for
it's
right
on purpose. It just makes it so we don't buffer as much.
Oh, all right, fine.
Okay, where was I? I'll probably just end up cutting it like right to when you finish talking about Filoni and Ahsoka.
Okay.
So, I hear you. I hear you with all the things you said because I agree. But I have no interest in seeing Lucasfilms tear down, burn down, spit on another legacy character. I'm not interested. They have
so far
worn out my kind. It's 2 episodes in.
Yeah, we gotta see.
Book of Boba Fett was tough 2 episodes in. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it until somebody says the finale is above decent. I'm not watching that shit.
That's understandable. I can respect that.
I'll say
finale
Book of Boba off the rip was mid. Book of Boba off the rip was kind of mid.
It was slow. It started off super slow.
It wasn't
never
shit
picked up,
but you
never
found it
picked
later
up.
on.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it had like
Mando
hopped
in for
that's part of that, yeah.
and then pulled up
Mando
was the best part of that series, and then pulled up to his own show and had the worst season out of all of the three. Like that shit is like you're talking about George Lucas talking about poetry in motion. That's poetry in motion. Trying to bring in another character to revive another character's show, and then he goes back to his show and he's ass. That's fucking poetry. You love to see that. Fuck all of them. They're soft. But that's enough. I'm done with hating
Lucasfilm.
Star
Unfortunately,
Wars
is not on the good side, but Ahsoka's not bad. So I'll take it for now.
Man, we're cutting out a lot today. All right. Moving over now to what you guys actually came here for, not to see us scream and yell over fucking Star Wars and us being butthurt. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out beginning of the summer. We can just jump right into this, honestly. I don't really think it needs much of an ado. It needs much of an introduction. I think even people who aren't super familiar with the superhero genre, I mean, it's kind of difficult now, but the Guardians kind of were like it was just like the regular people kind of movie. Like there's not some crazy overarching storyline. You don't got to watch 100 different movies and shows to be caught up. Like it was always just like
its own thing for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It feels separate from the rest of the MCU until they did Infinity War.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, it kind of feels like it's like in like that teeter zone between like DC and MC, like Marvel. Like it's kind of like it's always was in that gap where like I feel like he was kind of just doing whatever he thought was interesting, like in terms of like creations, in terms of character design, in terms of just like
character development,
story, and everything.
Yeah. Out of all the movies and stuff, it definitely was the most like in a vacuum kind of thing, like isolated.
Oh yeah, the Guardians movies I think have like the least feeling of the Marvel touch out of any of the movies. They feel like James Gunn movies, not Marvel movies directed by James Gunn. They feel like
they could be their own standalone things. If it wasn't even in the MCU, it feels like it could be a sci-fi movie. You know, it doesn't even have to be in the MCU. Like if that's what it feels like.
You know, absolutely. And that's why I think they are so popular in themselves. I didn't see how much this movie made, but I know it's fucking Marvel. And even they haven't been printing as much money recently, but like it's still printing money. Like a bad day for them is still a very profitable day.
And Guardians was actually good, so it actually printed some money for them because it wasn't Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah,
it says 845 million internationally, which is good. I would have hoped they broke it
for a finale. Yeah. For a trilogy.
That's fantastic for a trilogy.
Yeah, that is good. But if this was like after Endgame, Infinity War, they would have fucking had like 1.5 billion.
I mean, I always say, look at Captain Marvel. The fact that Captain Marvel made over $1 billion shows you
fucking
that
stupid.
it just depends on when it's released.
Man. I mean, we saw it, but it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That's like, I don't even think Captain Marvel's like the worst movie there is, but like it's not $1 billion movie. Pretty much no Marvel movie is $1 billion movies, in my opinion.
Absolutely not. Guardians 3 should be more of $1 billion movie. We're talking about like numbers on it.
It's closer to it for sure, because it just has a lot more. It's just a lot more substance. Like James Gunn knows how to bring substance to a movie, and that's why it doesn't feel like Marvel movies a lot, because it actually has like, it's just like a little bit more.
Has a soul to it. I feel like a lot of these movies feel like they're being printed out of a fucking factory, and this movie felt like one person had total control for what he wanted the story to be, and like the Marvel movies don't feel like that. It feels like Feige gets a whole bunch of guys in a room and says, "All right, here's the outline. You guys have to write around this outline," and that's it.
And James Gunn just like every character goes on a journey in this movie and completes their best story arcs probably possible for their entire trilogy, and in the best way possible. And even when James Gunn, like he had to deal with the fact that they killed off Gamora in Infinity War. And he did not like that decision. He was not happy with that decision, but I think he dealt with it really fucking well.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Because how you gonna fire him first of all, and then bring him back? But then you take his character and like don't have any say in what happens there, and then expect to bring him back, and he has to write around that. Like that's just some dickhead move from Marvel. Like they could have asked him, "What do you want to happen to Gamora throughout the Infinity War Endgame saga?" Like. like at least get the man's input because he didn't want that to happen. He has to write around it, and that felt a little off in the movie. Having her come back after she just died, it's like, what's the point, you know?
Absolutely. But I guess we can just jump into we're already kind of getting close to it, anyways. Some of our favorite characters. The Kid. What you got?
I'm gonna say Rocket. He's literally the kid.
Yeah.
He makes
he's
that
been-
movie
he's the main
the heart of
character
the
of this
movie.
movie.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a Rocket movie around the Guardians. Like that's what it feels
Yeah.
like to me. Like every other fucking 30 minutes,
it's
we get a flashback to
crazy.
the story.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he's not interacting with any of the Guardians in like what would be the A
Mhm.
plot.
Mhm.
He's completely
No,
just
not until the third act.
Yeah, he's all the
exactly.
B-plot, like, he's
That's
all- or
which is
whatever.
crazy,
Just all, like,
and he's
just
still the
seeing his
best character in
memories.
this movie.
Yeah.
He's still the best.
It's about
character
time
in
they
this
put
movie,
Bradley Cooper to work.
which is crazy.
It's about fucking time they put that man to work.
Yeah,
Man, Bradley
That's what
Cooper
I'm
been
saying.
collecting a
I
check
always,
to do
I
nothing.
always forget that he's Rocket. I always forget
He
that he's
was
Rocket
putting on
because he literally never goes to the red carpets. And besides this one, he
Mhm.
never does interviews really with the team. Like he's just Rocket. He does his voice lines at home probably, and that's
collects his check and goes
which
home.
I like. But I mean, it's
No,
cool.
he
Like
was
it makes
putting on
me
a
more
clinic.
immersed in the character of Rocket. Honestly,
Putting on an
Yeah, he did a
absolute
great
he
job.
was cleaning up. Even as
Like
a
that
kid
scream-
voice for Rocket too.
that-
yeah,
That scream that he lets out when Lila dies
when his boys
is
get pieced up. Yeah.
that is
got him.
that is heart wrenching. Like such a fucking pain. You feel the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like choking up a little bit during that scene because obviously, like, did they all think they're gonna escape? And this man's a menace. Bro.
Mhm.
High Evolutionary didn't even have to do all that. Like,
He's
come on,
also
bro.
he's also a great
He's
character.
fucking menace.
No.
Yeah,
High
he's a better
Evolutionary-
king than King. I wrote that in my notes because
Nah, he is.
He's
But I
more
wrote that.
menacing than King. Like you saw what he did to Rocket and Lila and all those guys, so you know, like this guy's
At least he
a
has a
menace.
plan.
King, we don't see.
At least
any
he's
of
got
that.
a plan.
Yeah,
Like, that's
And
literally
he has
all
a
it is.
plan.
At least he has a plan. That's literally all.
Like, what is
That's what
King's
makes it
plan?
better than King.
Just destroy everything.
Win.
Like we
It's
don't
like,
even
yeah,
know
sure, it's
King's
cool when he
plan
said
really
win,
now. Like,
but it's
what is your
like-
plan? Just total domination
Yeah.
of the universe.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's super nuanced. It's like fucking wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the fact that even like Nebula says that what the High Evolutionary did to Rocket was worse than what Thanos did to her, like that's vile. That is some
Yeah.
fucked up shit.
Yeah.
She saw the
Thanos
recording in the
fucked her
notes,
up.
and she's like, "Wow." Yeah, he like we saw even in Infinity War, he's like pulling her back, like he's ready to fucking dig into her,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
and that's already fucked up. But
I'm not in the
Just hearing
business of
that is
comparing
crazy.
traumas like that because that's kind of sickening. But I mean, I don't know. I think.
but Nebula is the one who compared.
in Nebula.
She's the one who said it. If someone
Yeah,
who
but
has
it's like-
experienced that trauma says it is like saying this is worse, then you got to take their experience.
Yeah, but it's like
That's
she.
what I'm
It's like he still has like skin. Like she's literally like all robot. Like she gets her neck snapped and she just unbreaks it. It's like, bro, she's not even human anymore. I mean,
That is
whatever.
True.
No, but it makes more sense because like he's a lot more helpless than she is. Like he was literally like a freaking raccoon. Like he wasn't even
He was a
like
baby.
actual
He
like
didn't want to
like
be
high.
fucking-
Yeah. He probably wasn't even cognitive over it. It's like he was just fucking screaming and yelling. I don't know.
It's weird. Like I feel like it's cruel. Like he has no awareness. Like you know, raccoons are
Yeah.
not conscious like us, and all of a sudden you just broke
Yeah.
into everything. We're conscious and pain and all that at once.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty brutal just to start with, honestly.
Yeah.
Like his
whatever
first
that
words
thing
were,
was
"It
that he had
hurts."
on
Like,
his
that's
heart.
sad. Mhm.
Yeah, and then like they had that like X-ray thing that they like were showing like that thing that was like connected to his heart. Like that must have been
The
very
kill switch.
painful to put on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that probably didn't feel good.
hmm
Yeah, but I gotta give credits to Chris Pratt as well. He also does a
Yep.
really good job in this movie, and
yeah,
like
I do
like when Rocket dies for that second, the scream that he lets out is even more
Yeah.
painful. Because like I was
yeah, like you brought the
watching that-
emotion.
yeah, watching that the first time around, like you really think Rocket's about to die, and then he doesn't,
I thought they were gonna piece him up.
which is an issue I have with the movie. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my yides we'll talk about later. But I do like Chris Pratt was given his all for like I feel like all of them were, but Chris Pratt and
Yeah.
Rocket especially were.
Mhm.
Those are the two standouts of the movie, if anything.
That's what I say. Like
Because
none
it
of
was the last
Guardians-
hurrah for most of these guys. Like it was.
yeah,
like,
they're the
for
two
James
main,
Gunn.
honestly.
And especially when you have someone like James Gunn who's brought you to this promised land. It's like for me, if I'm Chris Pratt, it's like if James Gunn ain't coming back, I'm not coming back. Like He's the one who made Star-Lord who he is. Like Kevin Feige isn't the reason why Star-Lord's so popular. It's fucking James Gunn. At least like they know more than we do, obviously, when it comes to who did what. But I'm assuming that James Gunn is a very hands-on kind of guy when it comes to his like directing and stuff. So it's like, yeah, exactly, and just like his ideas like coming to life.
Yeah, definitely. But all the like, I don't have an issue with any of them. Like Nebula has a great story in this. I mean, Drax even has a great ending to his story. Mantis is just
finally
Mantis.
Yeah, I do like Mantis. She like keeps everyone together. I feel like
She's
like
a good comic relief and
where,
like level-headed like character.
Yeah, like Nebula was talking about how Drax is useless and he doesn't offer anything, but then Mantis was like, no, he does offer value to the team and shit like that. Even though he's useless, what she says and erases memory. I like that scene though. Like she gives like some type of stableness to the group.
Yeah. I mean, it does a great job. Like, it really is a great ensemble movie when it comes to just having all of the characters sharing the limelight. Like, there really is, like, for the previous two movies, it's a Peter Quill main story for the most part, especially in the second movie when it's literally about his father.
First movie is more of a Rocket too. It's like I feel like the first movie is more of all of them, but
it's more of the Guardians. But the second one is literally all Peter Quill, which I don't really have a problem with. But in this movie, they go back to his root. Like, he goes back to the roots of one, where like you see the different scenarios playing out. Like they're not always on screen together. They'll be across the freaking galaxy or whatever, and you still see these characters. Like it's not just camera's not just focusing on one person.
I think that's just James Gunn's style in general, and it's why it's kind of unfortunate that he's head of DC Studios now, because he's not going to do an Avengers movie, but he would do a great Avengers movie because all of his he had The Suicide Squad, which was an ensemble movie. Scooby-Doo 1 and 2 are ensemble movies. Both Guardians movies are ensemble. Like, every movie he's done has been an ensemble movie, or Peacemaker, which was kind of an ensemble-esque show.
That is too. Yeah, he's good with a lot of different characters because he's good with making every character stand out.
And the fact that he writes and directs is the whole story is his. The way you see it, the way you hear it, the way it's written, it's all him. He allows for improv. He's getting up there to be one of my favorite directors of modern. I'm intrigued of what to see what he's gonna do with Superman though. That's
I feel like that's
just the whole DC in general.
I feel like that's his legacy is DC now. Like if he actually brings, because it's not very difficult to shit on DC. Like I'm not even gonna do it because like the numbers speak for themselves. Look at the opening of Blue Beetle. Anyone who's curious, that's my argument right there. It's not difficult to make a crappy DC movie, and people are kind of just eat it up regardless. But yeah, James Gunn, his next step, because everyone's kind of just looking at him right now. These are all lame duck movies. There's a reason why nobody's watching these movies, because when you know that something new is coming, why are you sticking with the old? It's like you're gonna get, you're getting the re-up in 2 years. So why am I watching? Done. Yeah, exactly. Like it's literally the Paris song has been sung, literally 5 turns, and they're fucking gone. That's it. There's 5 movies and you're done. That's literally what it was.
Shazam, Blue Beetle, Aquaman, fucking
The Flash.
The Flash. That's 4. There's about 5 more movies and you're done. Literally, they can't keep going on like this as a company. It's fucking literally 5 movies in a row.
But a little tidbit I'll say on James Gunn too that I think which I think is what makes him so popular is that he's smart. He's very selective with the characters he chooses. That's why I want to see him with DC. Because now that he has an actual archetype like Superman to fill into, I think it's gonna be very interesting.
So many characters that we've never seen before because they always reuse the same fucking shit.
Exactly, and that's why I think he does such a great job. Why he's so liked amongst people who aren't even into superhero movies is because he picks characters that people don't even have a presumption, idea of what they should be.
Yeah, a pre-existing idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So it's I watch movies, it's Star-Lord, and you're like, how the fuck I know? No one knows who the fuck they no one's gonna sit up here and say that I'm not gonna say I knew who the Guardians were before they came out because they were just kind of one of those teams that are they'll cross over, they'll slide, but they're not deciding the fate of any universe or any conflict. Yeah,
no, they weren't big before James Gunn,
and that's his bread and butter.
Completely different from their comic counterparts.
That's fine.
All of them.
It's
fine.
Like James Gunn right now. I was gonna say he's doing the authority. He's doing the authority for DC, and I don't have a fucking clue what that team is about.
No idea who that is, but I'm interested. But I'm very interested.
DC. I don't know what the authority is. I don't know about Swamp Thing. Booster Gold, he's doing too. A lot of weird characters he's doing that.
Booster Gold, I do kind of need Booster Gold. Booster Gold's fucking.
It just makes sense. It's what else? That's the best antidote for superhero fatigue when it's stop making the same stories again. It's all right, so I'm just gonna use different characters, and then the stories will just make themselves because these guys aren't Iron Man, these guys aren't Superman, these guys aren't Batman. Like that's why I appreciate them, because someone needs to be that person. Like, look, we've made Marvel specifically. We've made the same story 100 times, literally 100 times,
Mhm.
and it's not changing anytime soon. It's like, and you're wondering why people are sick of this shit. Like, it's not that surprising.
Yeah, but
Mid.
I have faith in James Gunn. I also have faith in his casting because he casts a lot of his friends, but b of a lot of
Yeah.
the same people in all of his
Which
movies.
is chemistry,
We've got
and chemistry is
which is
king.
great. Which is great. I love that he does that because even he's brought Guardians characters to DC. He's brought DC characters. I mean, his wife is in all of his fucking movies now, which I'm never mad at because
That's whatever.
look her up.
He's making sure the fam get it back. His brother too.
Yeah,
Like he's
that's
making sure
completely
his
fine.
I ain't mad at.
But
Yeah, exactly. It's not like these guys are like main characters. If you start making the main characters and they have no acting chops, then there's a problem. But
Then that's a problem. Yeah, side
Yeah.
character's fine. Whatever. Get your
But
back.
I'm glad also to see, like, we've seen some of the casting for Superman Legacy, and I'm excited because like NoHo Hank is the one of the villains.
Yeah.
Like I need that.
Isn't he amazing?
What the fuck?
Is he amazing? Or
Yeah,
no?
he's Amazo.
He's
Yeah.
someone. Oh damn! Yeah, that's about to be fun. Amazo's
Yeah,
a good
I-
Superman villain too.
I know we barely ever see him.
I'm just excited to see and like just going off what I was saying before. It's just nice seeing that fresh breath of air. I'm like, look, Superman has more villains besides Lex Luthor. Like it's like he's got more villains besides like these guys have massive rogues, like literally ginormous from like being around for almost 100 years now. These guys got a fucking whole collection, and we always just go to the easy ones like Batman and his Joker. It's like the movies are great, but it's like pick something else.
He
man.
has so many other like villains. Like
Yeah,
I wish they
yeah.
would have done like maybe Firefly for one of the newer Batman movies. That'd be cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Like,
just different villains that you have.
Look, I don't even have anybody in mind. It's just like just anyone besides what we've already seen. Like it just makes no sense to me that we have basically a random name generator for how many rogues these guys have, because that's how many they have. It's like you could just pick a name and you're gonna find one, and it's like,
Bro, I
Mm.
bet
God-
I can
God
fucking go
forbid-
through. Hold up, let's find out. Actually, I bet I could just reach through my stack of comics and just find a
Yeah.
random fucking character that we've never heard of or
Yeah.
seen in a movie before because they
Because
don't.
it's-
Mm-hmm.
it's so much easier to just be like, oh yeah, Batman, Joker. Let me watch Dark Knight. Okay, I have an idea of their dynamic. Let me make a movie to myself. Like it's so much easier to do that though than being like, oh my god, I have to actually read these issues that he's in. I have to actually like know what the character's motivations are, because it's so new to like the public perception with some of these characters, because unless you've read like a comic book from like the 80s or something, if they weren't released like with the new 52 or whatever, it's just like they just literally fell into obscurity. Like they don't even exist.
Yeah,
That's
James
what people
Gunn-
want, are just characters that we haven't explored yet.
which is
Because
why
that-
I'm intrigued to see what James Gunn's gonna do. I just don't agree that he called The Flash the best superhero movie of all time. But
You
you know,
have to. He's a salesman.
That's just
you
suit
have to be a
talk.
salesman.
Yeah, suit
he
talk.
needed the bag. He was trying to get the bag,
It's
and then they
fluff.
lost. It was the biggest flop in like cinema history. So
Yeah.
that sucks.
I mean,
It's a comic
it's
book,
it's
yeah.
like when you ask like an NFL player, is your team going to go to the Super Bowl? You ask a fucking
say
Browns player, is he
absolutely.
going to the Super Bowl? He said, of course we are. We're going to go this year and next year. Like, you got to say something. Like, what are you going to say? No? Like, come on.
You can't say the movie. You can't say the movie's all right. Or it's
You
good.
can't say it's
gotta- you
garbage.
gotta
You can't
hype
say
it.
it's literally the worst movie of this year, because it is. But he didn't.
Yeah.
But he didn't say it.
But my problem is when you got like Tom Cruise and them boys like Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg coming out like, yo, what are you paying them? Like, how much money are you paying these boys to say this movie's
Part
one
of
of
the
the greatest
marketing
comic
budget.
movies of all time?
yeah,
Like that is
Half the
crazy. Yeah,
marketing
that is
budget.
crazy to me. It's fucking insane.
but I guess we should probably move on. Stop talking about James
Yeah.
Gunn and DC because we
Yeah, I
didn't
did
even
my
trash
best,
talk
kid.
But I mean,
DC a little bit.
But it's setting it up, because we're probably going to cover DC at some point. I mean, 2025 is a mile away, and I can't speak to anything because that's way too far away for me to
2
make
years
plans
away
for.
from
But
now.
yeah,
With all these
But it's
strikes
like-
too going on, you never know.
yeah,
But,
exactly. It's like
the
you
only
really,
DC
you really
movie that we've covered is literally fucking The Batman. So it's like
I mean,
we're
the
gonna
good news
cover
with
something at some point.
even with the writer strike, when you have someone like James Gunn, like he's a one man army, so he can still write. He can still create like great screenplays and shit, even if there is a strike.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
can
it's
he
just
can
him.
still work on he
Yeah.
can still work on scripts and stuff like Superman.
Oh, he's definitely.
Yeah,
tweaking
it
his-
doesn't affect.
There's
him.
no way he's not tweaking his Superman script.
I mean, he
Yeah.
knows.
He
He
just
knows
can't
as well as
hire
anybody
people,
else
right?
does. That movie needs to be his magnum opus. It's unfortunate that there's
That
gonna be
needs to
this
be
much
a 10 out
pressure.
of 10. That needs to
But
be
it
like
needs
the
to be,
best
yeah.
superhero movie ever made.
It got to be like the Dark Knight of Superman. Like that's what it has to be.
No,
like.
literally.
Superman's Dark Knight.
And I don't want. I'm not someone who likes to put that kind of hype on a movie because it almost never comes through. Like it never follows through. But it's like the current state of DCU right now is embarrassing. Like it's beyond embarrassing. You're dropping a movie with $185 million budget and not even making like a tenth of it back. It's like, all right, now they'll make more than they'll make like a decent bit back, but still, it's like at one point these things ruled the world. Like you had these movies legitimately printing money at one point, and now it's just
it's bad. I will say though, with James
slow.
Gunn, I do. You could see in this movie how he's preparing for Superman because like the way that Adam Warlock flies is definitely gonna that's gonna be very similar to how Superman's gonna fly. Guarantee it.
Because it looked good in the movie.
Even that like dolly camera, whatever he was using, like right on his face, where he had the camera that like looked at his face while he was flying. I feel like he's definitely gonna be all over that too.
Which I'm fine with. I think like in the beginning when they do Adam versus Drax, I think the way that shot is gonna be the way that a lot of Superman fights are shot because it made the punches feel really powerful.
Yeah. And this whole like anticipation emotion, like how they do like in comics, how it's like he punches him and then like he goes like you see like him like kind of distort as he goes flying into a wall or something. Like the whole that looks really it's a clean looking movie. It's
it looks
fantastic.
It's like look, it's sad that I have to call a good movie like it looks professionally done when all of these movies should be professionally done because it's
they all big studio. Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, but like this actually looks professionally done.
Yeah, it looks solid. Like there's a lot of practical sets too, which I like.
Yeah, no, James Gunn literally won a record for that shit for the most practical used in a movie.
Practicals, which is fucking ridiculous. This movie looks amazing.
Yeah.
Which movie was that? This movie?
This one.
This movie.
Oh damn. Yeah, I didn't even know that, but I just knew.
I think it was supposed to come out of prosthetics.
A lot of this looks like it's built.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Prosthetics. All right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, you need to think about it. Like,
look at all the anime.
Counter Earth. All Counter Earth was all fucking prosthetics, probably.
That's what I'm saying. All the Animan were all prosthetics.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But,
what the fuck?
But we've been chatting this for a while. I'm sure everyone's saying, move on. But we're chatting. You know, first of all, this is the MCU Staincast. You know what you're getting into before you watch this episode.
Yeah,
we're going to chat.
Long episode.
Yeah, we're going to chat.
Long episode.
Say first, I said, I'm glad you asked that question because I'm going to spend 20 minutes to talk about something that's not that question. That's literally how the MCU Staincast. So I think you two said your favorite characters.
You'd have.
I don't think I have much to add. I don't think I. Yeah, it's 40 minutes in. I haven't said my favorite character.
Jesus.
So we can muster through some of the stuff. So favorite character, of course, High Evolutionary is probably my favorite, just because it's cool to see what an actual villain looks like after watching Quantumania, and I think at the end of the day, like Marvel's kind of just like fully committed to just end of the world scenarios, which I have beef with, but whatever. I think they downplayed it a little bit more, where it's like, oh, I don't want to conquer the world. I want to like whatever he said, change it or make it better, or something like that. At the end of the day, he's still this.
I don't want to
exactly.
At the
end of the day, it's still like him trying to take over. Blah 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 blah. It's world order, so it still has that, which sucks. But I think he's like a very convincing villain. Like he's not some I'm bad to be bad. Like he literally, like even in his acting,
and then he goes psychotic because Rocket's better than him.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I think that was one of my favorite scenes when he pulls him out, where like he's flipping. He's like, because it worked, and then afterwards he was just like, he legitimately could not imagine it. Like he was in disbelief. Like, he was mad at him because
like I love that.
Exactly. Like he's asking him how he knows this thing. He's like, exactly, and it's a cool dynamic where it's like the created knows more than the creator, and I think that's just a really fucking cool dynamic. And I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just think
his dialogue is really cool because
I think that's also why.
Like, how can I create something that's better than me?
Yeah,
and I think that's also why he's a fantastic villain, is because he has that dynamic with Rocket that we see throughout the flashbacks, and then in the modern day where we see that like how much he's obsessed over Rocket. He didn't even know Rocket was alive all these years.
Yeah, and even that one look he gave where he's like, "Oh, I don't think I don't think like a perfect Earth involves like an octopus selling meth to someone in an alley. He's like, it does not.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Like he's at least
Yeah.
he's not callous enough to
He's
be
aware.
like, oh no, I know everything. It's like no. He's like, that's why I'm
No.
starting again. It's like that's why I'm running it back.
That's why I'm about to
Like,
blow up the counter
Yeah,
Earth.
that's a weak. They're like, you're sick. Like, and he actually does, which is fucking sick. Which is,
Yeah.
I like him as a villain. He's just hardcore. I like it.
He said, "There's nothing worse. There's no way faster to take the wind out of a movie is when the villain just gets stopped comically fast. Like literally, like he's got to do something. Like whether it's inflict something long term on a main character, like like either hurt
Which
them
he
or
does
do
Rocket.
exactly. And he completes his mission of like obviously he doesn't fucking perfect the whole universe or whatever, but like his motivation were like they still carried on towards like, is he dead? I don't know if
No, he's not
we
dead.
wanted to. Okay, good.
No, they left it. If you don't see the body, he's not.
Yeah, exactly. No, I agree.
No, they
Props to
there's
that
a
too.
deleted scene. There's a
Where
deleted scene
Rocket
where he's alive,
like, gets him out, right?
and you can also, if you watch the end, right as all the Guardians are leaving the ship, you can see Drax carrying his body.
Drax, okay.
Are you serious? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Drax is literally carrying his body over
I don't know
But he's
why they
carrying
would
the
save
Ivan
him,
Easter
but
egg.
whatever.
because they're the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
The
though
whole
they
point
killed
of the
a bunch of
menace,
people
though.
before.
Thank you,
That
Hag.
guy's a
Thank you,
menace.
Hag.
I mean, I get that they're the Guardians of the
Selective
Galaxy.
justice
That's
is
the
a hell
entire
of a
movie.
thing.
But
In
it's
this,
like,
in
We're
this
not
movie,
killing
they,
people.
Rocket, I would have left him to die after what he did.
Bro,
to
literally-
Rocket. Come on.
Groot,
literally
kill
fucking-
these guys.
Yeah, Star Lord
movie.
says we're not killing anybody, and then fucking 20 minutes later he's like, kill them all. Like what?
Look, selective justice, they deserved it, but then don't have a no-kill rule to begin with. That's the way I see it. It's like, because then you can't make exceptions. You cannot make exceptions. Because then you're no better.
So I have another issue,
sense.
which I'll get into in the
Okay, we'll quick this. Least favorite character for me, Adam Warlock, because for all the reasons. If anyone's seen this movie, obviously James Gunn is moving on. He's got a young new thing, so he's not interested in the old freaking Dusty thing. He don't want any part of that. Adam Warlock was at one point, I'm sure, a very fleshed out character with a lot of future, like to be shown in the MCU. He's a big character, obviously. He doesn't give a fuck. I'm not even mad at it. This is his last movie in the MCU. I wasn't expecting him to create this super fleshed out Adam Warlock. I don't like that every situation we're about to see him pop off, he falls over like a sack of potatoes. But whatever. Gamora shouldn't be in the movie.
Soft.
I don't care what anybody says. Gamora should not.
I thought he was weak.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
In terms of his dialogue, I think was good. I agree. But I mean, when's the last time someone said James Gunn's dialogue wasn't good though? It's like I'm not coming at James Gunn's neck for his dialogue because I to this day yet to see a James Gunn movie that didn't make me laugh. Like, and it's not just me too; it's everybody. Like, he has the most family friendly, but like still has that seriousness when he needs to be. Like, he's a very, very good director when it comes to making like a family hit, but still like it's not like the modern era Disney where like it's one or the other. Like, either it's a family movie where anyone above like 18 is got to rip their eyes out to watch it, or it's going to be like a super dark. Well, Disney dark is like PG-13, but you know what I'm saying though. It's like a
violent movie or action or darker.
Yeah, exactly. Like nowadays, it's just so black and white where you can't just have like a SpongeBob-esque movie where there are jokes that kids would never get, but parents are laughing their asses off on it, and they're freaking triple the age of what you're supposed to be to watch it. Like, it's just called like knowing your market. I mean, knowing your freaking the people who are watching, because these kids aren't coming there by themselves; they're getting a parent to bring them there. So at least make it enjoyable for the parent who's bringing them.
Parent as well.
Yeah, and then my second character is gonna be Gamora. I understand that this isn't James Gunn doing, but she still shouldn't be in the movie. I don't care what anybody says. I'll argue that to forever. Her being in this movie makes zero sense, and it just completely throws away her Thanos and that whole thing of her tossing her off.
Yeah, them not including the scene of Gamora walking away in Endgame. Yeah, that's Endgame's fault. They should have included the scene in Endgame of 2014 Gamora walking away, so that way people still knew she was alive.
Yeah, that was so weird. Yeah.
Because most people don't know that she survived, which is why they had that whole fucking scene in the elevator where Chris Pratt was listing off the entire plot of Infinity War and Endgame, which at least he took up to the part that he fucked up.
Goodbye, Xander. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was funny. That he was talking about how he almost destroyed the whole universe because he lost his temper. That was funny. At least some sort of like universe feeling. Like it's crazy that the Guardians are giving more of this to us than a regular in-universe movie. But yeah, no, I agree. It's cool to just have that come full circle where like at least he can admit his wrong. Another welcome thing. Yeah, but just for me personally, I can't sign off on Gamora being in this movie. The whole like Ravager Gamora, we're like, it's just
It was overplayed.
She was also just
because
a
we
dickhead
already
throughout
had
the movie.
exactly, and like we already had the whole. Literally, last movie was them actually falling for each other, and we see it again. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my god! Like the one thing I will say, out of all of their dynamics, I love the scene where he's like, like she's into me or something like that. The whole thing where he tricked her into getting into the computer.
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. That was dope.
He was like, I knew it because she actually did let him do it at the end. It's fucking. I do like that scene though.
I'm happy you got.
You're right about Gamora. I wish they didn't fucking just kill her.
It makes no sense. Like, in a movie that's already overcrowded with characters, he has no interest developing. Don't add another one, man. Don't add another one.
They should have just sent her back to 2014 or just kill her off when everyone's got snapped.
James Gunn should have just been like at the beginning of the movie, like, yeah, she's still roaming the universe, but I don't give a fuck about finding her. That's what it should have done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why.
Like she's doing her own thing.
Yeah,
not the same person anymore.
It's kind of just him paying it forward. It's like anyone who wants to develop this character in the future, go right ahead. But it sure is fucking gonna be me.
We also kind of needed Gamora to help finish off Star-Lord's story, like in order for him to like
and
fully
Nebula
realize
too,
and Nebula stories for Star-Lord to fully realize like he needed to go back to Earth, he needed to see his family, like he needs to stop running, and then just the closure for Nebula.
But he got that when he almost turned into a fucking popsicle, turned into a friggin' porcupine or whatever the hell that shit is in space. I feel like that's the reason why he fucking went back. It's like this man almost died, and he's almost saw his best friend die. It's like, all right, that can't be more of a wake up call than anything else.
Yeah, but,
like, hey,
but Gamora's character also helped with that because he like throughout the movie realizes it's not his Gamora, and he's okay with that because he also was just hung up on the fact that Gamora is out there in the universe somewhere, and maybe he could find her and get her again. So that's why we needed this in some way because without her, Peter's story wouldn't really do anything.
Yeah, that's the closure he needed because she shouldn't have died in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's like they needed some type of closure together. So I'm at least happy they did that with those characters. But like I said, it shouldn't have ever happened.
I think it could have been as simple as he met her when she was on the Ravager. She wanted nothing to do with him. She said, "Who the fuck are you?" Gives him the coldest shoulder ever. He's like, "All right, I'm done." Like obviously it's not realistic, but
it's
I
not
mean,
gonna be like that, yeah.
But like suspension of disbelief, like we can do it for everything else. I just don't need to see Gamora in this movie again. Like that Gamora. Let me preface by saying that Gamora. I don't have a problem with regular Gamora because she's great.
Yeah.
She always does a great job. Yeah, like Zoe Saldana is an amazing actress. Like she's got it on her, but it's like I don't need that Gamora. The new one is the problem.
Yeah, I want the old one. The nice one, not the fucking one who's being aggressive stuff for no reason. Even in 2014, the first Guardians movie, she was a little aggressive, but she wasn't like how she is now. And
literally saved Nebula.
She's just over the top. Yeah, she's literally like Nebula. Like I don't know why. Like she wasn't like that in the first Guardians.
But she
movie,
saved Nebula in Endgame. She's the one who got Nebula out of Thanos.
Exactly. Yeah. What you said, she saved Nebula. Like so, why all of a sudden now she's just the super aggressive person who doesn't seem like she would have saved
Sylvester
Nebula.
Stallone.
Like, I don't know. Such a change up of her character, but
he looking young.
Like I guess
he's been looking young.
He's looking healthy.
King Shark, need that.
Oh, I forgot he was King Shark.
All right, what do you guys got for your least favorite?
You can go.
I honestly don't really have one. I guess Mantis because she has the least development. I feel. But overall, I don't know. Teefs.
Yeah.
He's just.
I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place with some of the Guardians because Drax, I don't even want to say I don't like him because they finally gave him some sort of strength. He actually I almost believed for a second that his name was Drax the Destroyer. For a second, I believed it, and I don't know what took so long. So it's kind of goes both ways. Where I'm glad they did it, but they should have done it earlier. So it's they just cancel. I got no beef.
Yeah, I got no.
Yeah, but Drax being Drax the Destroyer, then getting literally backhanded by Ronan in the first movie. Will never sit right with me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's supposed to be the guy
Ronan a
who
scrub
made the
too.
joke
We can't pretend like Ronan that guy or
he'd even
anything.
have, he was soft at that time. He'd even have the Power Stone at that time. He got slapped around. Like, come on, bro. You're supposed to be made to stop Thanos, man. In the comics, at least, but whatever.
But it's like at the end of the day, like, even if he's not a Thanos killer, he's still like a destroyer, as the name
The
implies.
destroyer, bro. Like, I don't know. The best of your race, apparently, the fiercest fighter out of all, who survived all of that with Thanos.
Sure.
You can't take down a fucking Kree, I guess. Whatever.
Fuck the Kree.
Fuck the Kree.
The Kree want to engage in peace talks with the Skrulls.
Yeah, all of a sudden, after hundreds of years of conflict, all of a sudden, it took Nick Fury to make a couple calls to get the peace negotiations going. After the hundreds of years of fighting.
All right. No more.
Stop me now, 'cause that's for Secret Invasion, yeah.
Yep, save it.
That's
Save
for
it.
Secret Invasion.
Save it. All right. Favorite and least favorite scenes?
I gotta go with my least favorite character.
What you got?
I'm just like Cracklin, just because he just James Gunn's
Sean
brother.
Gunn,
Gets a paycheck for being
Nepo.
in there. Yeah,
Nepo,
he's
baby.
literally just James Gunn's brother who just in there just to be in there because his brother wants him in there. So other
He
than
got
that,
zero acting chops. Oh yeah, I love.
Yeah,
I'm jumping right into I'm jumping right into that scene when he tries to shoot the arrow at him, and Adam Warlock just turns around. He's like, "Who the hell threw that,
baby?
That scene was funny.
Who threw that stick or whatever he called?" Because he was legitimately so tight. He was so tight. Like he hit him with like,
Called him a
like
baby.
it probably felt like a pencil when it hit him.
He said,
He
"Baby."
No,
Who
Adam
threw that?
Warlock.
was a funny
No,
scene.
Adam Warlock has great dialogue. Even like when he flies into the ship and Gamora is holding the little pet thing. She said one more step and I'll kill this thing. And he's like, "Don't be rash." Like that shit is fucking deep.
Yeah. Like I'm not mad at I'm not mad at like his dialogue. It's just his character. It's like, look,
Should be more serious.
yeah, it's like very similar to like Kang, where it's like he still had very good dialogue, but didn't make him a good villain. Didn't make him interesting. Didn't make me want to watch that movie any more times than I did. Twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good scenes in this movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm starting off with action. They went right to it. Like it was literally within 10 minutes they're already fighting Adam Warlock. Like that was a
great opening. Great
flying
fucking
through
opening.
space.
No.
Yeah, I'm flying through
Watch
space.
the reel.
I love that scene.
I have watched that reel probably over 100 times. Just him pulling up because
It's weak.
there's something about. No.
The first time I saw it, I just started dying laughing.
It's just like the perfect me when, where it's like I don't even add something afterwards. Like it's literally just me when.
Just me when. I remember we saw that first time in the theater.
Not the music. We're gonna get copywritten.
I remember.
Oh, you guys can't see it.
First time we saw that, I was sitting next to you smoking. You guys are like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, you said, "What is that?"
No, literally.
I'm playing it.
Me and Smoke were like, "What in
You're like,
God's
"What the fuck is
name?"
that?"
No, me and Chet started dying laughing when we saw it for the first time. We were like, "What the fuck is this?"
No, because I was legitimately like,
like we were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Nah, that's Warlock." I was like, "No way, that's him." Like I was like, "No way."
everything about it. There's nothing about that. Like, and it's not even like negative. Like I'm not even tight. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Like literally, like I was like, "There's no way."
Like that would be a break. Like that's a proper break moment where like I wouldn't even say it like detracts from the movie. It's just more like, what in God's name am I watching? Because me and Smoke were literally in tears. Like, what is happening?
He's sliding, bro. That's me to the box.
Because for so much, it was way too, especially in the theater. It took way too long for us to realize that was Adam Warlock because he was so far away. Like that long shot took like 15 seconds for him to come into frame. I'm like, oh my god.
That shit will forever be weak. You guys like, what is that?
I mean, I got nothing but love for him dismembering the Guardians. He fucked them up. Oh my god.
He painted Nebula. Those punches he was doing to her chest were nasty.
He was
Drax
dealing.
got it too.
Yeah, they were all. He smoked Drax. Like when he freaking.
He got blasted.
He smoked Groot. Groot was ahead.
Groot got decimated. Yeah, he got eviscerated.
He had to regrow back by the wireframe.
I thought Groot was fucking dead once again. I'm like, no way,
Yeah.
killing Groot off again.
Yeah,
That's what every Guardian. All right, here we go. I'm getting into it right now. This is what got me tight about this movie. is fucking every single Guardian had a death scare, and none of them
Yeah.
died. Every single one of them. Drax had it when they were on Orgo. Fucking Rocket throughout the entire movie. Groot against fucking
Adam Warlock.
Adam Warlock. Star-Lord at the end. Nebula had one at some point as well.
Did she? Oh, when they're on the ship, I feel like when they were trying to save the kids when they first got on the ship, like when they're fucking going off the planet, I feel like they had multiple scares then.
Yeah,
like when they couldn't get inside the door, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I just get like it was too much. Like to build the tension, I feel like, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It
It's just
didn't
cheap.
land
It's
properly.
just cheap
sometimes,
tension.
yeah.
It's just very cheap.
Especially
like,
Drax. I did not like Drax's at all, and Star-Lord. Like Rockets, I'm
Yeah.
fine because it's his movie, but like Star-Lord and Drax's were just it was just too out of
Star-Lord
pocket.
didn't need
They're not gonna actually do it.
It's in the same family as like when they play like the good-hearted music when like something's going good for the character. It's like, bro, I have eyes. I can see that something is going bad. Like, I think it's like sitcoms do that a lot. Where like all of a sudden like you can just tell when something good's gonna happen because all of a sudden that super upbeat music like guitar starts playing. I'm like, oh wow. It's like it's just such a cheap, like corny way of like trying to elicit a feeling out of the viewer. It's like and horror movies do it a lot too, where it's like, did you just make it super loud? Now all of a sudden it's scary. It's like, no, it's not. It's just like intense. It's just I don't know.
Yeah. But what else? What other good? Oh, the entire hallway scene, the fight scene at the end.
The hallway fight, I have that. That's one of my favorite fight scenes in MCU.
No Sleep to Brooklyn too. Like that's a great fucking background song.
This synergy was
movie.
crazy.
I think this is the best soundtrack out of all three movies. I think this movie has the best soundtrack.
Pretty goated.
Mine's first one. First one, like that was a pretty goated. Yeah, first one's mine.
It's also the first one
too.
It's the first one though, so like you can only be surprised. You can only be like
it's nostalgic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can only catch someone.
I don't know. I think the songs that were used in this, and then the way they were used.
No, it was still great, but it's just so hard. It's so hard to say.
Where Rocket walking.
Yeah.
Or that one song when Adam's pulling up.
Yeah. Literally that one song. Yeah. They had a lot of good songs too.
Yeah.
The end is one of my favorite scenes too. At the end, where they're all dancing. It's just such a lighthearted and goofy scene. Like you never see Nebula dancing. She started dancing. Yeah,
we saw Drax.
I like how goofy and lighthearted it was. Yeah, never seen them like boys actually dance. That was at the end when Mantis was leaving and Star-Lord was leaving, and then they all started dancing to what's that song? I forgot that song. It's a good song though.
Yeah.
That was a great way to end the movie. I mean, anything with the High Evolutionary in it, I think is just a great scene.
I have that scene where
I gotta look up his name.
Aisha pulls up, and then he has one of his grunts give him a thing to stand on, so he's taller.
Yeah, that's just weak. Short king problems. Short king problems.
I mean, she's like 6'3". That ain't short king problems. That's just under 6'3" problems. She's a very tall actress.
She is, but Chukwudi Iwuji does a great job. No, I didn't. Chukwudi Iwuji. I'm looking at it. Chukwudi Iwuji.
Is that the fucking
That's the High Evolutionary guy? Yeah. He does a great job. He's a great actor. Any scene that he's in, he just steals the show.
Yeah.
He plays a fucking maniac.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like his screaming, like exactly. Like you can just tell how manic he is. Like it's just so weird. It's just so weird to me. Like I just think the problem was that he just came so close to Kang. Like it's a weird feeling that I have when I watch it. Where like I'm kind of looking, I'm like, is this Kang? Like
that's why people
he had the same powers a little bit too.
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly. When he has that,
the pulling
thank
people
you.
and throwing people. Like,
that's why people are
like,
saying. That's why people want them to recast Kang as Chukwudi Iwuji and have the High Evolutionary be a variant. And I'm like, don't do that.
The problem
is he got bitched by the Guardians. Let's not get it wrong. He still lost to the Guardians in a raccoon. Let's not get it wrong.
Yeah,
Kang lost to ants. Like we can't have our big bads losing to one group for fucking ants. Like they gotta be Avenger level threats. I don't want to see them go down until like 10 boys.
I mean, the Avengers are like a fucking 8th seed in the East, bro. The Avengers are a wash, bro. They didn't make it out the East.
They're looking soft. They are looking so soft right now. Any villains are licking their lips. Kang is literally gonna have.
They got like 5 super soldiers. Like
they be doing layups on the Avengers and shit.
Yeah,
it's not even be funny.
That's terrible.
Dunking on them and shit. It's a little scene.
Oh, another scene that I have is when they first pulled up to Counter Earth and like Drax throws that ball at that kid's head. And then all of a
That's
sudden, this
sweet.
random guy, that's funny. This random guy takes a baseball bat to Mantis. Like literally, like she's in the back left. She's in the back left of the pitch. And the guy's taking a fuck. He takes a baseball bat to her head. I'm like, whoa! How do we escalate?
They always be dissing Mantis.
Yeah,
Every
Mantis
movie
gets
she gets like, yeah.
She
Like,
fell
the
in her
second movie
face
where
like
that thing
3
just,
times.
that whole like rock falls on her in the second movie when they're doing like the team shot. Like they're always bitching her.
Oh wow!
What?
Dune is delayed
Mhm.
till March.
Wait, did it really
20
just get delayed?
No,
March 2024.
It really just
got
no,
delayed?
No.
Who said
You're
that?
lying. No.
It's on one.
I was just looking at this 25 minutes ago. Fuck. I just.
March
Before
14th.
Staincast, I just searched it up before Staincast, and there was no new news
Are
about
you
it. too.
serious?
Aquaman will maintain its December 2023 release date.
I'm
Yes.
done, bro. I'm done.
Wow.
I'm done with Warner Brothers, bro. Only reason why they're pushing it back is because they can't promote the movie.
Because they can't do any of they can't do any of the red carpet or anything. That's
Literally just
crazy.
said fucking an hour ago how this is one of our most anticipated movies of the year. This slimy bastard.
I can't believe that fucking happened.
Well, Doom
That
Pack
ain't
tonight.
right. Yeah, that ruined my
Big
fucking
Doom
whole
Pack
day,
tonight.
bro. That ruined
That's
my day.
fucking-
We were like
And now the
three-
Marvels is
3-4
getting
months away
IMAX.
from
Wow,
it.
that is just L. That's a fucking. Oh,
Wow,
that's
yeah.
L
The
after
Marvels,
L.
everyone, they get all the IMAX
Let's-
seats and everyone.
Let's get
That's
this
foul.
going. Let's get this going.
Yeah, finish it
Fucking,
up.
fuck
I got a
Dune,
bad
fuck
taste in
Warner
my mouth,
Brothers.
so.
That's tough. That strike is fucking dealing, bro.
Fuck
They're a bunch of-
that.
Doom Pack tonight.
I mean, that's
Good
low key
time.
in Warner Bros. Oh, because I feel like that's the only other movie they're making money on now. I mean, that's why they're
Fuck
re-releasing
Barbie.
Barbie. That's why they're re-releasing Barbie in theaters because they need that. Because that was Dune. Dune's
They're
supposed to be doing
They're
that.
extending the theatrical run because of that.
Yep.
Really tight.
Now Aquaman's gonna fucking be there.
All right, so
Push back
let's
that
just move
fucking
on to favorite quotes. Fuck Warner Brothers. That shit got me so tight.
Yeah.
Favorite quotes. Favorite
You
quotes.
go first.
My favorite quote in the entire movie comes from the High Evolutionary, and it's when he's talking at the end to the one I don't know, scientist thing. She goes, "For the love of God," and he goes, "There is no God," and that's
There
why
is no
I
God.
said
Yeah.
that shit is so
That,
hard.
yeah, that was tough. Yeah,
So
that was a
hard.
tough-ass quote, 'cause
Even
he's
when
so
he's like,
egotistical.
and even when he's he's like the first character to actually mention that nowhere is a celestial head. Like that.
Yep.
That's also another
Mhm.
welcome thing where it kind of just shows his level of like just his
Awareness
age
in
and
the
his
world.
intellect. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
It's the little things like that. It was literally a throwaway line for the most part, but it just shows like he knows, like he knowing, like he's
Kill
not some
everybody
scrub
ahead of
who.
that dead God. That's all he says, and
Yeah.
that's all we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That was a
Uh,
tough-ass quote.
I think anything that Lila says in the heaven sequence
Yeah.
with Rocket, that entire scene like
Mhm.
is a quote central.
Yeah.
Who's also played by Clint Barton's wife.
Wow.
Oh damn.
Laura.
Yep.
No, it's literally Laura and Lila. Wow.
Clint Barton.
Wow.
Honey.
And then Sylvester Stallone with his messed up ass face. Help you save the hedgehog.
Fuck that guy, man.
I had to get a quote. I had to get a
Where did
quote
you go,
from that.
Squirrel?
Because he has no clue where he is, bro. He don't have a clue where he is.
And help you save the hedgehog.
Fucking Sylvester.
Where did you go, Squirrel?
And then we find
I
out
just
he's
love how they
actually a
all-
fucking raccoon.
Yeah. That's also a hard ass line. The name's Rocket. Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah.
Needed that.
Mhm.
Dumb. I got so hyped. I started fucking hooting.
Oh
and
yeah,
hollering.
I was hyped during that. Yeah, he fucking smokes the High Evolutionary.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
The whole
He's
Guardians
back.
Paul when they started hitting combo moves on him.
Yeah,
man.
that was nasty. Yeah, I forgot about that. They were dealing on him.
Yeah.
They
They
closed
needed
on
that.
him at one point.
Yeah, no, fucking Drax fucking did something to him. I forgot what movie. He put a
Yeah, it
wrestling
looked like he
move on him for
clotheslined
sure.
him or something, yeah.
No,
One of his
I think
WWE moves.
Yeah, he grabbed him by his belt and his back and fucking threw him down on his neck.
Batista
Shit was
bomb,
vile.
probably.
Yeah, it probably wasn't Batista bomb, honestly.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't even.
Let me
I
think
never
about
watched fucking
quotes.
wrestling like that, so I don't know what the
Nah,
Batista bomb looks.
the Batista bomb is what
Nah, it's
Goblin
different.
does to Spider-Man when he has him, like he
Yeah.
has his legs on his like facing him,
Oh,
and he
and then
throws him down.
Yeah.
Then he
Yeah,
slams him down through the floor.
that's a
Yeah.
Batista
That
bomb.
shit is
Yeah.
the Batista.
Yeah,
and this
trust
shit's
me,
fire.
you know when a
So
Batista
freaking
bomb's happening because it's out of pocket.
Yeah, yeah, it's OD.
It's
Like, oh,
unnecessary. There's 10 other ways to get them off of you, but you got to do it that way.
Mhm.
The Batista bomb. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has any other quotes. Oh, actually, I have one more. I got one more. Rocket
Go
saying
on.
his name for the first time.
Mhm.
He's like, we're gonna fly through
Yeah,
the sky.
Rocket.
I'm gonna make big ships and fly through the
Rocket.
sky. It's me, yeah, and me, Rocket. It's just tough.
Yeah, I do like
I mean,
that.
especially compared to everyone else's name, Floor, Teefs. Lilo's fine, but
Lilo's
Floor is tough. That's something that she wish she could have taken back. I'm sure.
My name is Floor because I'm lying on floor.
Even Lila was like, "That's why it's your name." Like, it's like you want to try again. I mean, out of all of them, she literally didn't even have a jaw. Like, she was like the weirdest looking out of all of them. Obviously, the hippo, like in a chair, was kind of weird, but the walrus, yeah.
But the rabbit was the weirdest.
This man said hippo.
Bro, who the hell cares? Yeah, Teefs. Yes, whatever. It don't matter. They're all dead anyways. We're never gonna see Teefs again. Teefs pack tonight, and Floor, and Lila.
And dude,
yeah, we I don't think we smoked any of those packs. Yeah, I need those.
This box
For sure need those.
Do need to. All right. Yeah, that's all I got for quotes.
I got a couple. Like Rocket saying, "I'm done running." Like when he fucking loads his gun, that shit's hard to do that walk off.
Yeah.
That shit is.
Yeah, then like Gamora's in the back. Yeah, that shit.
Needed that. Lila, it's really good to have friends before she gets smoked. That's
literally dies immediately after.
Yeah, and it's just heart wrenching. Her saying
it really is good to have friends. Doink. She gets shot by a fucking pistol.
Tough. Even Gamora, I bet we were fun. That one was also like a good closure for them. Like that was a nice one. I bet we were fun. I like those three. The only one I have is "We need to save Rocket's life" because that should be the tagline for the movie. Because Quill probably says it over 100 times. That's all. We need to save Rocket's life. That shit was. We gotta save our friend. Like, it's like you just realize that now after 20 minutes of bantering. Now it's time to save your friend. Like, come on, man. Come on. And then the one thing I'll say is, in a very James Gunn-esque fashion, using the F-bomb like just for a simple him getting mad at her for not opening the door. That was fine. I don't think it was really. Yeah. It wasn't necessary. It should have been hyped up. It should have been hyped up. If it was what PG-13 get one F-bomb or whatever it is, like
one F-bomb.
And the first one in the MCU at that, and they were hyping.
Yeah, exactly. Like that should have been a Nick Fury. That should have been Nick Fury. Nick Fury should have had the rights to that. He should have had the rights on fucking Lockdown.
On motherfucker, like that's literally Samuel Jackson. Like he should have had that, like right. But whatever. Besides that,
Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, because he was literally about to say it. Yeah.
He technically had the first one, and then cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
yeah.
Disney's more open now to just like rated R stuff, like doing Deadpool, and more like darker stuff. So I guess they were fine with dumb ad and curse.
I mean, because their pockets are finally fucking hurting.
Exactly. Yeah, they're more open to different things. That's why they couldn't do it back then.
That's it.
Hurt their pockets.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about them caring more for the fans. It's that their pockets are actually hurting now. And by hurting, I mean like it's not even their movie division that's hurting them. It's really ESPN. ESPN ain't doing nothing.
True. Yeah, it's question mark.
Yes, med packs. Med packs.
Yeah.
That would have been very, very important or useful to have at any point in the actual MCU. But whatever. Whatever. I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe the fact
med
that
packs?
It's like what the hell? You can't introduce something like that in a fucking movie and third movie.
Here's my biggest problem. Like, yeah, the med pack's fine, whatever. My biggest problem is that throughout all of the Guardians movies, and including this one, they give an issue of like breathing in space and freezing in space and all this other shit. So how come in the third act, when all of their windshields get broken, they're perfectly fine flying through space, or when they open a fucking hole into nowhere, everything's perfectly fine and they nothing happens to them?
I think they have like a safety measure, like shield tag. Like if the window breaks, they have like some type of shield, like to block off the fucking them being sucked out. It's like they do that shit in comic and all type of sci-fi movies. Even in Dead Space, when the air vac gets blown out, they have like some type of fucking energy shield to block it off. But
I don't give a fuck.
You are right. If they're not going to show it, yeah,
they didn't show it.
Yeah. They didn't show it. They should have just done a little bit of CGI work to show that there's some type of blue force.
A purple shield, like they showed for every other fucking non-permeable shield. Just made it purple.
Yeah. Anyone who's played the map
they
moon,
probably forgot.
Anyone who's played the Zombies map moon knows if you shoot out the windows, it decompresses the area and you need a gas mask. You should have played it. James Gunn should have played Call of Duty Zombies.
You got to get out of there.
Should have.
He saw it.
Yeah, that was a yay, and then
on that conversation, Nebula gasping for air after being outside for like 3 minutes when she was just chilling at the beginning of Infinity War with Tony Stark. Literally, that man was dead for all intents and purposes. He was dead in that ship, in the Mantis, I think, or whatever it is. And she was chilling. Like, obviously, I think
when they were running out of air.
I think there's an expiration date for her because like she still is human in some ways, but it's not 3 seconds for in this movie. Like when they were on the other side, and it's like, oh, we can't breathe or something. And then they opened the Drax or somebody opened the door. But that's whatever. I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I think my biggest
issue
is how the fucking group
when your air supply is running out. What are you saying?
No, I was just saying that like, well, first I was talking about that Nebula, like how she was like, because I rewound it.
Oh yeah, how she was like just fine out when they were going.
Yeah, because like when they were all standing at that door, that's when they jumped across to the ship. Like when they're going to the bottom, when they were, yeah, exactly, when they're flying up, because they were like, because they went across and they jumped in the ship to save Peter because they thought he was still on it. Like, oh, it's getting hard to breathe, and then they open that door. Nebula falls over the minute they open, and she's like gasping for air.
Yeah.
Like,
you think she'd be
I don't
want to
be that guy.
Like not like be dead like that? I guess.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to be that guy, but I mean like. This is the problem with having a cinematic universe that you gotta kind of be consistent with these things. I don't know. I'm just being a stickler.
But I was gonna say Infinity War is a different situation. Endgame's a different situation because it's different from you almost being in space from your air supply running out. Stark's gonna die first because he's human. She's gonna survive longer and be fine until the air runs out because she's like half fucking machine. I feel like that was the difference. Like them being almost in outer space is what probably killed her. But you're like half machine. You should be fucking fine.
Yeah. The only other one I had was Groot coming back after he was just ahead. It's like we spent the entire movie of him being a teenager because he can't go back fast, and now he grew back instantly.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
So here's what I think. Here's what I think.
True.
I think it's because since his brain is still intact, he can just grow it back. But I think it's of his head, because he basically
if his head's gone, he's done.
Yeah, because his brain became a child because there was no brain matter left.
Well, he didn't become a child. He birthed.
That's a different group. That's a whole different group.
Yeah,
that's a completely different group. He birthed a new thing. Yeah,
which I don't like. Yeah, I don't like that. But he has the memories of the first group, which is
no, he doesn't.
What happens? They said that. Gunn said that.
Oh, he did.
Someone said that. Someone said that the memories transfer.
I don't think so.
Let me see. Let me see.
While you guys are looking that up, the only other I have is just them killing people at the end. Like, obviously, I completely understand it's justified.
Losing all memories of who he was in the process.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I read it wrong. Yeah, he does not retain the original. Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense because they did that. I mean, it makes sense because that's why he doesn't.
I like them keeping characters like.
That's why he doesn't look the same as he did in Guardians 1. Like I honestly like his design the most probably at the end of the movie. Like when you have that basically that post-credit scene or whatever it was. Like the Juggernaut or whatever that was. That shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because his one threat this movie doesn't seem. No, that's what I'm saying. He's a lot more formidable. Like he's a lot more scary looking, if you want to call him that. Where throughout this movie, he just looks like. I mean, obviously he's selling. They need to sell toys, so he's got to be kind of cute.
He has a baby face with like Vin Diesel's body or something. It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't like it. Do not like it.
But I think DL. Do we have any more yides?
The only year it's like I said, them just being selective with the killing because I've said a million times I
Yeah,
don't
that was
like
my biggest.
Yeah.
the no killing
Well,
rule
we already talked
is
about that.
stupid. Yeah, we already talked about it. So let's stop our talking and start our oh, hold
Let's lean in.
up. I'm leaned up. So first of all, welcome to the thirsty moment of the movie. How's everybody doing? I really don't have a over the top thirsty moment, if you want to call it that, because Marvel has unfortunately graduated from showing women in gratuitous lights, even men too. I feel like they're just super whatever. There isn't an ass shot per se, okay? But Gamora, she'll always look
Mm-hmm.
her the green. God, look,
Mm-hmm.
I'd go green, bro. I'd go green. I'd
What
do it.
about Aisha? I'd go gold too.
Oh my god, bro! I
No, what about
completely forgot how stupid her
what
death
about
was.
what about
God damn,
wait, hold on.
you
What
ruined
about
the thirsty
what about
moment.
Nebula? What about Nebula? I'd go blue for Nebula. I'd go blue for Nebula.
You can't see my face
That's
right
all I'm
now, but you
saying.
don't want to see it. Nebula? Her acts
Like
are
they
short,
said,
but not
and
Nebula.
fucking and what if when they put that blonde wig on the makeup? Fine,
No,
what if?
come on,
Looking fine, or what
man.
if?
No, you wanted to look like she did in What If?
You capping to me
No.
right now. The what if Nebula? I mean
Shot
Nebula in
down.
general. I'll still slide.
Um,
She got the technique probably with all the machines and
Aisha.
mechanics on her.
Aisha.
She ain't bad either. I tap.
Yeah, if I had to make a list,
True,
it would probably
but
go
that-
Gamora,
Marvel doesn't
Aisha.
really got nothing.
Probably Mantis if she didn't have those antennae.
Eyes.
Because, yeah, I mean, because like she's
The
really.
antenna.
I mean,
Nah,
we saw.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. Fuck it.
I'm down for the powers that I'm down for her like freaking relaxing me and shit too, with her
Mm.
powers.
She's
She
just
could
gonna
probably
say
make
get
you nut
pricked.
instantly.
Get pricked. No.
Yeah, get self.
Nut.
I'm like, oh no.
Be a tough
Or
power
she'd
for
keep
ruined
your
my
that.
shit up
day.
the whole time.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
need
say. Get
that.
pricked.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Prick.
need that. Yeah, but if I had to
You
give it
had
to
the
one
question of the
person, I put it on there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. If I just had to say just one, yeah, I'd probably just give it to Aisha because we don't see her as much, and she do.
Say Gamora.
Nah,
She busted.
Aisha. Yeah, it's just the way. It's just the way that she be. The way she be moving her lips. It's just because Gamora is like we see her so often. I've probably given that to her a million times. I probably gave it to Gamora in the first
Yeah.
two Guardians movies, so I got to switch it up.
Probably, yeah.
That's probably true.
Actually, it was probably Aisha.
I was like,
in
when
the
we're talking
second one.
about real life actors, I'm going with Zoe Saldana over Aisha.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%. Any
Oh,
day
yeah.
of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not. I say as soon as we start expanding the criteria that far, then yeah, it's over. Sorry.
It's the knee.
Yeah.
All right, so we asked you guys over on the Instagram this week at the Staincast. Give us a follow if you haven't already. If you do, we love you. Appreciate it. We asked you guys. Pretty standard question. You guys know my policy nowadays.
Yes,
Drop
sir, 'cause you guys don't
multi-level list
respond
only.
if it's too complicated.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to hurt y'all brains. All right, but regardless, I asked you guys, which one you got is the best, which I think is a pretty fair question. I think it's really more leans towards like yeah. So I asked you
One or
guys
three.
which yeah, but it's like all right. So which Guardians you guys like the most? And the most got 3. It was 56% of people said 1. I mean, sorry, I said 3. 56% of people said Guardians 1, which is for all the reasons that we said previously, like it's just nostalgia, the first of
Yeah.
its kind when it comes to that kind of movie, especially when that movie came out. It was just like the first like space movie for the MCU. I think that was a big thing too. Guardians 2, it's fine, but the problem is that it's nestled between 1 and 3. I think that's always
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah.
It's not as
It's the
anywhere near
weakest.
as good as either.
It's like Far From Home. It's like Far From Home. Like it's not a bad movie, but the
Yeah.
problem is you have Homecoming and No Way Home. So it's like, what are you
It's
gonna
just
do?
looking slow for Guardians too.
And that picture saying, "What's he
Good.
planning?"
What's
So,
his plan?
so 56% of people said Guardians 1. 12% of people said Guardians 2. And since you voted for it, I'm gonna have to drop your name. Sorry. Jacob, Joe. Joe, I think, was trolling. There's no way
Yeah,
Joe.
I knew it was Joe.
Nah, he's definitely trolling. There ain't
No,
no way.
he thinks. I think he thinks the second one's his favorite. Like I think he said that before in the past that the second one's his favorite.
Lord have
What's
mercy.
he planning?
Pretty sure he said that multiple times.
OD, what's he planning?
What's
And then,
What's his plan?
and then, of course, the balance, 31% for Guardians 3. So,
Is our
it's about what you'd expect. 50%, like half the people said 1, and then the other half split between 3 and 2.
I personally, well, actually, I'm not even going to say because we'll just get right into the ranking for our own. I guess for those of you who don't know, our ranking for MCU is different. We just give a one number. We don't do the whole breakdown thing because we made this on simpler times and we have an Excel spreadsheet to keep track.
It's tradition, baby.
Yes, sir. So I give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 an 8, which puts it exactly even with the first one.
Damn.
Hold up. Fuck. Why is my notes app sucking me? Xander, what do you got?
Soft. I give an 8.5. I give 8.5. 8.5.
Okay.
Shit, hood classic. Hood classic.
Wow, this thing is. I'm gonna use my phone because this shit is absolutely bricked on my computer right now. What is going on? Yeah, this shit is cooked. Holy smokes. Okay, so I probably would give it. What I give the first one? I give the first one an 83. So I think we had this conversation before that I might need to relook at my list.
Yeah, I gotta readjust my list as well.
Yeah, I might have to update, but I kind of agree with you, Hag. I feel like I kind of want to put it close to the first one.
Yeah,
I
put it
think
about
I like
even.
the third one. I think I do like the third one more because even after all my complaining on Adam Warlock, he's still in the movie, and it's just the closing. I don't know. It's difficult because you're closing out a movie compared to starting it.
Closure to a trilogy. Like it's a fantastic closure to the trilogy.
Yeah, it just depends on it depends on what you like most. Depends on whether you like the introduction or the conclusion. And for me, I like the conclusion because, especially, I think it's
you
also
can't have a good
the
story
fact
without a good conclusion.
Yeah,
that's the reasoning. I think.
No, absolutely, and it's because this drought we're in right now with Marvel movies, like
true.
it just kind of made me. It made me realize, like, exactly. You watch it, it's like, wow, okay, this is what an actual movie freaking looks like and sounds like.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like give it like an 85.
They don't got a clue.
Like it's still close to the first one. Like I'm not saying it's like a 90 compared to an 82, but yeah, it's like an 85. I'd probably put it somewhere near the first Doctor Strange, Ragnarok, Far From Home.
Nah.
Something like that.
It's better than that.
Something like that.
No, Deal and I have this list. Like this list is from 2 years ago. We have to go through and redo
Absolutely.
because there's a lot that I'm looking at right now that I would change around.
Yeah.
I mean, my top 3 I think would stay my top 3, but the whole rest of the list I think would completely change.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
But good rankings, fantastic movie.
For sure. So I'll do my little spew on it. I'll do a cute little spiel on it. I know this episode's already getting long as it is, so I'll be quick. Good family movie, good humor. If you're really tired of superhero movies, this doesn't feel like one of those ones, like a la Marvel. It really feels like that kind of. It's always in that bubble. You're still gonna get those elements. It's still gonna have the very like tropey kind of things going on, but if you're in the market for like a superhero movie that has a little bit of a dark side, tap in to Guardians.
Definitely
and
watch
emotional too.
Yeah,
it's emotional. It's a great end to all
actual emotion, not like some fake manufactured like, oh, we're only supposed to be sad because this character is like the main character.
Not some secret invasion shit where Maria Hill dies first episode. We're supposed to feel bad. Spoilers.
No,
none of that.
It's a fantastic story. It's a great movie. Definitely watch it.
Yeah.
And as usual, thank you for the kid for joining us yet again. I'm sure we'll see you again next week. And of course, for the rest of you, like, comment, and subscribe. Leave us a review on Spotify. Go follow us on Instagram at the Staincast, and turn on post notifications. And while you're there, click the link in the bio to buy some merch. And stay tuned for next Saturday, or I guess tomorrow, from this day of the episode coming out, for the question of the week and the teaser
for 2018's Spider-Man PS4.
But yeah, I fucking hyped one.
Be back with the three of us.
Episode 90. Okay.
I think. Hold on. My bad. Yes, episode.
So I clapped the hands too. You should have stopped me before I.
It's episode 90. It's episode 90.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure thing.